Are you in sales and want to add in AI? Well, let me show you how with Jotform's AI agents. Hey Jotformers, welcome back. I'm Kimberly, and like I mentioned, if you are in sales and you would like to add in some AI into your business, you can absolutely do that with Jotform's AI agents. So as you can see, I'm currently in the desktop version of my workspace. So in the top left-hand corner, I'm gonna choose where it says My Workspace, and we're gonna jump to My Agents. And here's how we can choose how to create our agent. So the first is from scratch. If you want it to be completely from scratch, you know exactly what you want, definitely choose that. If you already have a form that your users are utilizing to give you data, you can absolutely start with a form. If you're not really sure, I would highly suggest utilizing a template. And if you want, you can clone yourself basically, which is basically just replicating your knowledge. So for this example, we're going to utilize one of our templates. So let's do use template. Now, if you know exactly what you're looking for, you can always utilize the search option up at the top. Over on the left-hand side, we see we have lots of different templates for industries. We can also look by type, and we can also look by different languages. But I saw up at the top, there's actually a sales one right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this sales AI agent. And we see we have Lily, and we have these different questions right in here. Some of these might actually be attached to a form, which we'll see in just a little bit. But over on the left-hand side, you can see what I was mentioning. You can jump into each one of those channels to edit what they look like. And when you go to publish, you can publish it as a standalone. You can publish it as a chatbot. You can publish the same AI agent multiple different ways. So every time you're going to land here in the build tab, this is going to be able to build it how you want it to look visually. So on the right hand side, if I click on my paint roller, we're going to land in the avatar gallery. This is where we can choose what we want our avatar to look like. So right down here, we can do a quick scroll. We can see we have like some mascot types, and we have actual people. We can search by specific things. We can see she's holding a clipboard. If we want, we can jump over to generate and we can type in what we would like. We can even come here and say wearing a, let's try red suit, do generate avatar. And here we have John wearing a red suit. We can see that everything has updated to include John's information. If you have a specific person that is your customer service agent or maybe a mascot, you can always go over here to the upload option and upload that. Or if you want, you can use our gallery. Maybe we want to jump back over to Lily, and we can use the face swap option that is down at the very bottom, and we can upload our own picture, and then Lily here will end up looking like the picture that you upload. We'll get her changed back to Lily in just a minute. I'll show you another place where you can change that. But we jump over to style. Right now we're in the general gray / light blue color scheme. If we want, we can choose overall color schemes. If you want to be more specific, we can change that color right here. The agent background style is going to be what's right behind Lily. We also have the agent title, which is going to be right up here. Here's another place where we can change John back to Lily. And then we have the page background style. This is going to be what the entire chat is sitting on. We can upload a background image if you would like. We have the chat style, which is going to be this section right here. We can see it's kind of a really light green. Maybe we want that to actually be white. We can move that all the way up, and now we can see it is now white. We can change the font family, and we can also change the button color, which is going to be this button right here. Now, going down a little bit further, if you want, you can change the layout to be the opposite, completely up to you. And then the logo down here, if you would prefer it to be a company logo instead of a person, we can put that right here. So Lily would stay right here, but you can put a different logo right up here. All right, let's jump over to the train tab. This is where the magic happens. On the left-hand side, you can see we're in the second one down. We're in knowledge base. I'm actually gonna jump up to that first one for now. We're gonna do the AI persona. Here is another place where you can change your agent's name and their role. We can change that default language. We can change the tone of voice. Then down here under conversation style, we can choose how chatty we want our AI agent to be. Do we want them to be minimal or do we want them to be chatty? It's completely up to you where you want that to fall. I'm gonna put it right here in the long section. Next up, we have voice. We can change our agent's voice. Same thing with the response length here. We can change this up to short. We can change her voice. We can choose from languages, accents, genders, and age. I personally like Matilda.
Jotform AI agents are powerful tool.
Perfect. I'm going to use Matilda. Now we can even jump over to email, and then same thing. This is going to be that response length. Then at the very bottom, we have some guidelines that is going to automatically be given to you, especially if you're utilizing a template. So just make sure to check these. If you want to add any, you can. They're going to be the same on each one. If you want to add a new, you can. You can see it says you provide clear, concise answers. And if you want, you can delete them, completely up to you. Now, back on the left-hand side, this is going to be that knowledge base. You can add information into your AI agent to train from lots of different ways. The first one is going to be from knowledge. This is going to be basically typing in information. You can copy, paste, completely up to you. Next one down is going to be a link. You can put in your link. It could just be the main overarching link for your website. And then the agent is going to crawl multiple pages within your website. So it could crawl the / about me, the / FAQ, the / locations, the / events. It can crawl multiple pages within, and you can even enable periodic recrawling, especially if you're going to be updating your page frequently. If we go back, we have a file upload. So if you have a PDF version of your FAQs, you can absolutely add that in here. And the last is going to be question and answer. So if you have specific questions that you know you're going to get asked, I would highly encourage you to put the question here and the answer down here. So that way you know for sure that the questions that are always asked get answered correctly. Now, if for any reason your AI agent doesn't know the answer to a question, it's going to fall into this question and answer category. And it's going to land back over here. It's going to look something like this, but it's going to have a red X, and that is your indication that you need to answer that question. So that way, the next time it gets asked that question, it knows how to respond. All right, on the left-hand side, jumping down into actions, if you're familiar with our form builder, this is similar to conditional logic. So if then, so if we go to add action, we can choose. So when someone talks about, asks about, when they provide, when the date is, what do you want your AI agent to do? It can schedule, it can send a video, it can provide a list of items, lots of different things that your AI agent can do for you. Next down into tools, you can have it to where if your users are uploading documents, it can put those documents in Google Drive, in Dropbox, in Box. It can even set appointments for you as well, even send messages in Slack. And also, if you have a tool that you're not seeing here, make sure you use the requested tool, and you might see it here in the future. Left-hand side, going down again, we have our forms. So these are all the forms that are tied to this AI agent. If you would like to add more forms, all you have to do is just do add a new form and choose from your active forms. Really simple. Now the last one's going to be teacher agent. This is similar to going up to that top right preview option and chatting with your agent. Instead of doing preview, I highly encourage you to do teacher agent, because if you are in the preview mode and you ask it a question and it doesn't know the answer, there's no way for you to be like, hey, remember this for next time. But if you're in teacher agent and your agent doesn't respond correctly, you can easily say, add this to your knowledge base. That way it'll know for the next time. All right, let's jump over to our publish tab. So we can see right now we have this as a public agent. We can always change that to a private or a company access agent. We can also have the notifications here. We can copy this link to send through appropriate channels. We can invite people by email. We can share agent on socials. And then we have our embed style. So of course, we're going to have that page embed. We have chatbot, WordPress, Lightbox, and pop-up. And then over on the left-hand side, this is going to be all of our different channels that we can edit in the publish setting. So we have our chatbot. We can change the way that our chatbot looks. We can see right here, we have the pulsating tab. How can I assist you? We can change all of that here. For our phone agent and our SMS agent, you can see how to make a test call. But for both of those, you're going to have to buy a phone number in order for that to work as of right now. And of course, right here, we can change that voice. If we come down to voice agent is enabled on every single one of your AI agents. It's not something that you have to turn on. So if someone is utilizing your AI agent and they prefer to chat, they can easily switch over to chat, which I'll show you in just a minute. But you can see right here how you can share just that voice agent. Then over on the left, of course, we have WhatsApp, Gmail, Zoom and presentation, Messenger, and then we also have different platforms that you can embed, get those specific codes for. Then the last option is going to be an agent app. So if you're familiar with Jotform apps, this is similar to that. So your agent is physically an app that someone can have on their phone. You can change that app icon and name. We can see what that would look like on someone's phone. We have the splash screen, and then we can also send push notifications. So if you would like to say, hey, we just dropped something new, go check it out, you can absolutely do that. All right, let's go ahead up to preview and let's give this a test. We have Lily, our sales agent. And so we have capture lead information, request a project quote, provide customer feedback, and learn about customer satisfaction. So let's do provide customer feedback. So this is going to automatically jump into a form for us. So we can see here that we have basically a table, and I can see here that I can skip it. So if you're utilizing a form with an AI agent and you want to make sure your questions are answered, make sure you make your questions required. So I'm going to go ahead and say we are very satisfied on all of these. We'll do next. So we can see now on the bottom left-hand corner underneath Lily, we have that percent complete, and we also have the open form button. So if we want, we can click this to open up the form to get that instead of having a conversation. Would you use our customer service in the future? We'll do yes. So it's like there's 3 questions. How can we improve our service? Please share any suggestions or feedback. So instead of choosing a button, this is where we can actually type back. I'm just going to say I was very pleased. All right, now we can review and submit our information. It's taking us to the form just to verify we can submit. Perfect, it's been received. Now if I jump out of preview, I'm going to click on the AI agent builder right over here. I'm going to head over to our inbox for our customer satisfaction survey form that we just filled out. And here we can see the conversation view. So we can see exactly what our user saw as they were filling out. If we want, we can just view the submission, which is this right here. Now, if we want, we can even jump over into tables and view that information here as well. And it really is as simple as that. If you have any questions about how to utilize our AI agents for your sales business, let us know down below in the comments. If you like this video and you got some value, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you get notification every time we put out a new video. I'll see you next time.